Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, and my co-host, Mark. How you doing on this wonderful Monday, Mark?
I'm doing good. Doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Can't complain. I'm back from
I
vacation.
know. How's it feel?
It was great. It sucks to be back. It's been nothing but gloomy since I've been back.
Yeah, it's tough feeling.
But I got some color on me. Life was good. Great times.
So, like, what's like the...
Before we get into that,
all right,
let's talk to the people real quick. We need to have a serious family moment. Gather in, guys. Sit down. You know, don't be shy.
There. Okay, yeah, but
that's
fine.
You know you can't sit next to him. Move.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So me and Mark just had like a brief chat before we started this up, and we're trying to figure out like what's the best way to go about things with, you know, ETC in general. Mm-hmm. And it's never easy.
Sounds like we're breaking.
Yeah. We were talking about it, just, you know, we're not gonna get into too crazy detail of like everything, but after conversation, we like come to the decision to pivot how we do our content, I guess. So in a sense, it's gonna feel like, I guess you could say the podcast is on delay or ending in a sense almost, but it's not, because we're still gonna post content. We're still gonna do 2 videos a week. It's just gonna change. It's gonna be a different name, but still us. We'll still talk about what we talk about. It'll just be under a different format, in a way that's more convenient and in a way that can be consistent for you guys and ourselves as well. Because if you guys watch, you guys have seen there's probably been inconsistent times with, you know, either quality or mishaps or anything like that, or just like upload times, things of that nature. So we're trying to figure out a way that is best for both of our schedules, and also allows us to just make the kind of content we want at the rate and quality that we would be happy with. So, do you want to chime in there?
No, I just want to say, it just feels like it's more beneficial to you guys just to be able to, like Victor said, be more consistent in some ways. I guess you guys will like see this content, you're like, but what do you mean? You know, you guys are still posting.
Mm-hmm.
But just from our point of view, it's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and a lot of stuff that just kind of feels like when we do these things, we want to make sure we're in the right headspace and just setting to be like happy about that, where we're doing the recording, and not have any issues where we're just feeling like, oh, we're so tight on either time, or just like things that just end up coming up where we just feel like, oh, like this is just like a problem. And it's never the podcast point of view of actually making the content. It's just when it gets to actually getting to it, the beforehand, that's where sometimes it can feel a little bit kind of
the post and pre-production.
Yeah, and I feel like it could get a little bit just scrambled, and just feels like a little, sometimes it could be rushed, and we never want to feel like that, especially when making content. And if you're somebody out there who makes content as well, you would kind of agree where anything that feels rushed or doesn't feel like it's in that exact right moment can feel like it's never, you know, before it's even done, you're like, I know this isn't going to be the best. So we just want to make sure that when we do make content, the beforehand and even the afterhand, we know throughout the whole thing, this is the best content that we like put out,
and that we enjoy doing it, because when we enjoy doing it, it flows into what we make, and then it becomes better content, a better product for what we make. So lately it's just been like creating the stuff has become more tedious and difficult than it needs to be. So in order to do that, we're kind of making this change. So this might be the last time, maybe the last time in a while where you'll see us kind of do this in this format. It could be for the better. It could be, you know, we'll figure it out. But for right now, it just probably makes the most sense. We had like a brief talk about it. We're like, honestly, like it might just be the move for right now. So, you know, maybe 6 months, a year, 10, whenever it might come back.
10 years.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't want to say it's like, oh, it's done for good. But we just don't know like what's gonna happen.
Just exactly in a 10-year mark. All right, guys, we told you.
You guys were patient. We're like grays in our hair. So that was pretty much it. You guys are gonna see most likely just more so like us doing gaming content for the most part, or maybe like we talk about reactions, but we never really do them. Maybe that, but
with that, we could do it. Just like again with the timing now, we have more time to do that. We can,
So we'll be able to we'll see more gaming content. Like I said, it's not like you guys will miss out on the conversations, because we can translate that over. So like if there's something big going on and we want to talk about it, we could just behind the gameplay, if it allows us to chime in and put our pieces in, and you know, maybe you guys will enjoy it more. You know them videos where it's like, you probably seen them before, It'll be like people talking, but then they'll throw like a random video of like GTA, like going through a court.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like that. So it might work better for
true.
you guys. You guys might like focus a little bit better.
Yeah, I might like that. Yeah. I mean,
so that's that on that. I just want to chime in on that before we talk about anything else. Anything you want to say before we move on?
No, we just, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And hopefully you stick with us through this little change that we're doing. But just know that we're always, like we said, we want to put out our best content.
Yeah.
And we do it for you guys. And we do it because we love it. So we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And yeah, let's get back to the episode.
And sometimes change is good because when we first started this, the idea was like, oh, what can we do week to week that we can do consistently? Because we didn't have PCs. We didn't have all the equipment that we have now. And that was the podcast. And that was kind of carrying us all this time. But we've like grown and developed and have more equipment and skills and stuff at our disposal now that we can afford to branch away from it if we want to. So yeah, that's it. Meeting adjourned. You guys go back to your seats. But you're gonna ask me what was my something about my trip?
Yeah, just like going over there. Like, what is I don't know. What is like? I was gonna say like, what's the main thing to do over there? Like, people go over there. Like, what's like kind of like the thing?
It depends on who, like, what time you on. For first and foremost, I'm a backtrack. Phoenix Airport, you suck. You smell like spicy ketchup, and it stinks. And there's a lot of older people there. Nothing wrong with older people, but it's just one of those cities where a lot of older people go. There's nothing. I love older people. I met a lot of nice older people when I was out there. But yeah, that's first and foremost. LAX. On my way back, I landed in LAX I was there for an hour. I don't think I ever want to go back there again.
Really?
It's nice, but I got off the plane. So technically, because of time difference, I traveled for 24 hours. Like just between everything, like waking up, packing, going to the airport, flying, all that. So I woke up that morning early when I was going home, and I got breakfast, and I was like, all right, let's go to the airport, do what we got to do. Because of the 6-hour, 5-hour time difference, it was like 12 hours in the sky technically. So when I got on the plane at like 9 a.m. or like at the airport at like 9 a.m. and I landed in LA at like 10 o'clock at night. So it was just jacking me up. But I was like, I haven't eaten like 12 hours technically. Go to LAX. I was like, let me try and get something quick because my plane was like literally boarding the minute I got off. There was a sandwich spot or something there. I was like, let me just get a little sandwich, hold me through till I get to the next landing in Philly. It was $40, bro. No drink, no tax, no nothing. $40 for a sandwich.
That's actually insane.
I said, get me the heck out of here. I was like, I will never. Wawa would never do this to me.
That's the airport, you're saying?
Yeah, I was in LAX. How that the plan? I don't know why she was so happy.
I know, well, because she can't.
She was trying to get up out of there,
bro. She can afford that.
So yeah, I went to like a little mini. They got them some shops in the airport. It's like a mini mart. You just buy like a drink, like a little snacky snack. I was like, let me get this little packet of like meat and cheese and cracker, and I got a protein shake.
$20.
13 and a protein shake. I got the little true, like, what's that called? True something, I don't know. So with the cow on it, don't taste so good. But I was like, this protein gonna hold me over Thailand, and it did. But I would prefer the actual meal. It's okay though. I landed in freaking Philly at 7:30 the next day.
At night. No, in the morning.
So I left Hawaii at 9:30 in the morning. I landed in Philly at 9:30 in the morning Wednesday. I landed in Philly 7:30 in the morning Thursday.
Wow, that is weird, yeah.
So it just threw me all the way off. And I had to work at 2 p.m. that day.
Yeah, you should take an extra day, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was cooked.
Yeah, that's wild.
So yeah, that happened. That was a whole ordeal. Then before I even got to the airport, I called the Uber, right? And it was like, oh, she's like 5 minutes away. So I was like, bet, let me just step outside. Lady was doing circles for like a half hour. I said, yo, where is she? I tried to cut her off. She saw me, kept going. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Who's this crazy guy?
Yeah, like I'm like with my bag and shit. She finally gets some out. She said, oh, I'm so sorry. It's an 83-year-old woman, bro. She was so sweet. Like I had a great conversation with her, and I was like, yo, I left with plenty of time. Like, you're good. Don't freak out. Cause she was like being so apologizing so much. But I was like, yo, that's crazy. She was like, yeah, I moved here. I'm from Georgia. I moved here in the 60s. Like, I'm still driving Ubers. I was like, that's crazy.
Wow.
We had a great conversation, but I was like, yo, that's wild. I was not gonna lie, because I didn't see who. There was no photo. It was just all a name. I was like a little tight because I'm like, yo, you had me standing outside in this Hawaii heat for like a half hour. But then she came out like she was like going like this, and I was like, I can't. So we was cool. But Hawaii, cool things to do. Depends on who you are. For me, when I travel, I'm mainly like, yo, I just want to go eat, like try the food of the area, and then like whatever landmarks and shit, like, whatever's the popular things to do. So that's what I originally intended going there to do. And that was fire. The food was great. I had spam musubis like every day. I had a bunch of Hawaiian barbecue, which was gas.
Nice.
I don't eat mac salad like that at home, but I ate mac salad like every day in Hawaii, bro. That shit was so gas. It was so fire, bro. It was so different. Yeah. Very, very good. I was a big fan. Had these donuts called malasadas. It's like this bakery called Leonard's. It was gas. It was a Portuguese bakery. It was a donut, and it was like they had sugar on it, but it was like regular sugar, brown sugar, and then like I think coconut was another option. And that's just a regular donut. And then they have the stuffed ones where they put like a little whatever cream, like coconut, chocolate, whatever. I had a guava one, bro. Knocked my socks off. Knocked my block off. I was dumbfounded. That shit was gas.
Wow.
Yeah, so did a lot of that. Did a lot of like beach. It was like a lot of different beaches and stuff. I did cliff diving. They told us not to do it.
Oh.
I did it.
So
it was not that
an
bad.
Excursion.
It was, but they were like, "Oh, there's this beach. There's a cliff. Don't do it." And I was like, "I'm gonna do it."
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
No, cause like, all right. So here's my reasoning. The beach was beautiful. It was super hot. It was like 80 some degrees every day, but it was never like, it was the humidity that made it seem hotter. So you'd be like, I lost 5 pounds while I was out there, and I did 25,000 steps a day. I was cooked. But they were like, "Oh, there's a beautiful beach. It's like 20-minute walk from where we drop you off," because they was low key shade. They was like, to do tours, you have to like have a certificate, and I guess they're hard to get, or like they just didn't have it. So they're like, "We're gonna drop you off at this one spot, do whatever you want to do, and then we pick you up later. But like, we're not supposed to be here," type shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So they was like, "Oh, like we're gonna drop you off here. It's like a food cart area. Meet back here at this time. This right here, snorkeling. 20 minutes that way is a nice beach. Da da da." So I did. Me and some people that I met, we did like the walk to the beach. Beautiful beach, clear water, super dope. But then they had the cliff, and then the whole drive there, like, yeah, this one girl, she jumped from the cliff, and like her tooth went through her bottom lip. And then the lady that was driving us, she was like, "Yeah, I did it," and like I bruised my leg. And then another one was like, "Oh, they broke their arm." And then I get there, I'm like, "Yo, this shit not that high, bro." I was like, "Yo, how'd they hurt themselves?" Because like, when I was in PR, I did another jump. It was like I went to El Yunque, which is like the rainforest in PR. And they had when I went on the tour, there was like, yeah, the tour guy was like, "Yo, like we jumping this cliff right here," and we were doing it. He was doing it head first, everything. That jump was higher than the one that was in Hawaii, bro. And I jumped that one, and I was cool. So I was like, all right, like this is nothing. Then I get to the top, I'm like, "Yo, this looks kind of high." It was 20 feet. So I was like, "Yo, it looks kind of high." But then I'm looking, I was like, "Yo, how somebody get hurt?" The only way you could get hurt jumping off that thing is like somebody didn't clear the cliff. Like they just hit the side. I'm like, "Yo, you gotta be stupid to do that unless you like slip."
You must have slipped.
Yeah. But I did it twice, and I was cool.
He said, "I'm doing it again."
Yeah.
I'm prove that there's nothing wrong with this.
Because I went, my man's, he's like, "Yo, I'm doing it." I was like, "I'll go up there with you." Because it was like the super high one, and there was like a low one. And I climbed up with him. I'm not gonna lie, the climb was more dangerous than like the fucking jump because both my shins are cut up. So we got up there. I was like, "I'll do the lower John," and then I got up there, and I was like, there was no access to it from where we went up. So I was like, "Damn, I'm like up here." And he jumped, and he was like, "Yo, you gotta go now." And I was like, "Damn, all right." And then there's this Hawaiian dude at the top, just like watching people go, and we was talking to him, like, "How many times you did?" He's like, "Too many times, brother." I'm like, "Oh fuck." He too cool with it. I gotta go.
Yeah. Bro, he does this every day,
Yeah.
bro. He does this to wake himself up.
He didn't even work there. He was just there with like a fucking long sleeve. He was just chilling like.
That's even worse. He doesn't even work there. He's just a local.
Yeah. He's just chilling. There's all these kids jumping. This old lady was behind. He's like, "Oh, is it cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're fine. Like, I'll show you where to go, whatever." But that was dope. Saw turtles.
Nice.
You're not allowed to touch them though. People freak out if you get near them.
That makes
Because it's like a $5,000 fine.
I mean, that makes sense over there.
Yeah, I believe it. Like, I understand it and I respect it. Like, I didn't get near them. I was like walking along a road and there was a beach there and I saw them like from a distance. But I didn't know that was. They have like a lot of like environmental rules, rightfully so. Like before you get on the plane, you have to sign like a thing of like the environment. It's like, "You'll do X, Y, and Z. Like you won't, mess with stuff." I went on this like, you remember how we went on the one boat in DR and it was like the party boat or whatever? Yeah. I did that in Hawaii, and there was this rule on the
What was
like
the drink of choice they had there?
They had like, it was pina colada, but it was pink, so I guess it was like a strawberry pina colada.
That's 10 times better than
yeah.
I'm tired of that.
They gave us like two. It wasn't all inclusive. It wasn't like all inclusive. They gave us 2 free drink tickets, and then you could buy additional.
Okay.
So I downed them Johns, but they had a rule, and the thing was like, don't bring bananas on the boat. And it was like an environmental thing, I guess. It's like, don't do that.
Well, just specifically bananas.
Yeah, it said no bananas.
So
it was like,
I could bring an apple.
It didn't say no fruit. It said no bananas.
That's so random.
Yeah. I guess they have an issue with that. But it was like no cigarettes, no whatever, no this, no that, no bananas.
No bananas specifically.
So yeah, that was cool. And then I did surfing, bro.
Oh yeah.
I went surfing. You ever surfed before?
I haven't, bro.
Have you been to Hawaii?
No.
Oh no, I didn't. I was just maybe like as a kid or something. I don't remember.
Nah.
It's fire.
That's one place.
It's a bunch of islands. So like I could like what's cool for that for me is like I only did the one island in Honolulu that I landed in, but there's like Maui and like others I could go to. I could go back to Hawaii and like have a whole different vacation because it's like different islands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went surfing because my friend that I met down there, he was like, yo, I'm doing surfing. I did like I signed up for a private lesson. It's like with a firefighter from like he's from there. He's like a first responder, but he also does like that on the side.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was just him. I was like, yo, I'll sign up with you, and I did it. Amazing, bro. I love surfing. It was so cool. My friend got it way faster than me. I was struggling a little bit because I ain't never skateboarded or nothing like that. But once I got it, bro, it's so fire.
Yeah, it's just all balance. I probably gonna struggle too because when I go on a skateboard, it's like both my feet can be planted firmly on it, and I'm still like trying to make sure I still don't fall off.
So at least with surfing is like you gotta commit to the get up. If you try to like half it, you gonna fuck up. So that was my issue at first. Cause I'm like trying to like do it like steadily, and it's like no, you gotta pop up and just commit, and like you can adjust it's better to adjust your feet once you're up than to like try to get it perfect.
That makes sense.
But it was so weird. I ain't never experienced nothing cause once you're like on your chest, obviously, and then when it's time to ride the wave, you feel that push. You stand up. Once you're up, bro, you feel this crazy surge of speed, and I'm just up like I'm not doing anything. I'm just balancing myself, but it's just pushing you, bro, all the way to shore.
You're screaming, help!
Yeah, like
they're like, what you need help for? And then I'm going too fast.
And then anytime I would catch like a good wave, bro, somebody in front of me, and there was like he was teaching teach you good etiquette for surfing, like don't get in anybody's line of sight, like just try to stay clear of people, like give people their space to do what they got to do, because you don't want to like run anybody over. They got the little fins at the bottom of the surfboard. Like, you don't want to get hit with that. Like that could like really fuck you up. Everybody didn't catch that class, I guess. Everybody was just in my way, bro. And then me being like, yo, I really don't want to like hurt somebody. I gotta fucking bail. It was not cool. But overall, I recommend it. If you ever have a chance to go somewhere with like tropical and you have a way to like look it up to find a tour. Cause I did like a TripAdvisor, John. It wasn't like a hotel or anything. I recommend it.
From surfing, from what I know, like, yeah, I've heard that whole thing of just like you gotta be like super respectful when you surf with other people, because like, yeah, like you're there to surf, and like some people take it like super serious.
Bro, there was kids.
If you're in their way, they'll like literally fight you. Like,
bro,
what's up? Like, what are you doing, huh? Why are you in my way? It's like,
because you could really get hurt though. That's the thing. Like even where I was surfing, there was like the floor, like there was pockets that it was just rock. So like if you're not like you could really like mess yourself up. But there was some little kids that was just like you could tell they local. They was out, bro. I was like, I respect it because you've been doing this your whole life, but it was just like, yo, you really got it. Like they was just ripping it. I'm like, yo, that's so tough.
Yeah, I always like that when you're like on the wave and you just do those little like crazy like fast cuts.
Yeah,
and you still keep going. I'm like, yo, y'all got it.
Yeah.
That's what's up though.
But that bull, the instructor was like Hawaiian. Like he was talking to me. I'm like,
yeah, the tattoos and everything. Too.
Yeah. He was. I mean, he had the rash guard, the long sleeve Johns on, but still, like you could tell it was like he was born and raised there. He was like talking to me about shit. He would like spying people. He told me shit. I'm like, yo, I understood half of that.
Yeah, it just comes.
You ever had bull, bro? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I was like, ha ha.
Teach you how to surf. Yeah.
But it was super dope, bro. Food was good. Good times. Probably out of the solo trips I've done, probably the best one for sure. I would say.
I feel like that makes sense. I mean, like, how big would you say the island was? From like obviously looking at it on a map, you look and you're like, this seems small.
Yeah.
You feel like it was like
you can get to like, so I'm gonna generalize it, but like the airport is like on the north or like the southeast-ish end of the island, kind of. If you wanted to get to the other side of the island, it'd probably take you an hour. It's not that big.
Yeah, okay.
So like because the airport is on the south shore. And you can get to North Shore in like a half hour, 45 minutes. Okay. So like it's not that big. You can drive around it like in a day.
That's kind of what my point was just going to be, is just like, I feel like for a small island, it's like everything that you need to do is kind of there. So like if you plan ahead of time, I feel like you're going to have the most fun you could. If you like know what you want to do, where you're looking to go, if you have enough information, it's like the whole time you could be having fun and not feel like, oh, like I don't know what to do, you know, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah, I wasn't super rigid with my time. Like I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't set it like where I booked it out until like I really got there. I was like, all right, like I met some people, I was making plans with them, and then I was also like, all right, this day I don't got nothing going on, so I would just like do X, Y, and Z. And some of the tours were like early, like it'd be like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And I still have the evening to do whatever, like
sense.
go watch the sunset, go out, whatever. I went to the Dole plantation, like the Dole pineapple fruit, like that brand. I went to their plantation down there. That was pretty cool. I had a Dole Whip there.
They give you any pineapples?
I mean, I bought the Dole Whip, which is like the dessert. They only have that Dole Whip there and in Disney World because Disney bought the rights to it.
Wow, of course.
Yeah. Like there's places that like make their own, but like the official recipe is there in Disneyland or Disney World.
Gotta steal that secret formula.
So I had that. It was gas. I had like a float version of it. So it was like the Dole Whip, and then they put pineapple juice in it. Super good. Super sweet, but super good. And you see like acres of pineapple, bro, laid out.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like tours and stuff.
What's up? That's exciting. Speaking of Hawaii, I ended up watching Lilo and Stitch.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think?
Give it like a 6.5.
I believe it. That's why I haven't gone. I was like, once I heard that, like, at first I was like, there's some changes. I was like, all right, like it's not that deep. And then they just kept piling on. And then I kept hearing people's comments. I was like, it's basically just like advertisement for like the military. I was like, what the fuck?
Sorry, one second.
No, you're good. But like, because they did so well with the design of Stitch and like some of the characters, and then
the whole idea was just like you kind of like talked about it the last time too, and we mentioned it. Nani ends up like having this whole thing where it gets brought up where she wants to go to school, and it's to study marine biology. That's the whole idea of it.
Which is like, what better place to study marine biology than Hawaii? But
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that ends up coming up, and yeah, it was just like it was all right. Kind of what you were going off of is just like I felt like as the movie went on, it's like more things just popped up that made me just feel like why did they go this direction instead of just following the movie, which is like right there in front of them? Because I went with Emily, and she asked me at some point during the movie, most likely it was like middle to end, and she was just like, "Are you like enjoying yourself?
Vibing it?"
And I was just like, yeah. And then afterwards, she was just like, she was like, so you didn't like actually enjoy it? I'm like, I enjoyed it. It was good for what it was. I just felt like for somebody who really loves Lilo and Stitch and watching that, you're just kind of like, this is the best they could have did. Like it's just like they literally had a whole just like portal gun, and it was just like, I was like, why did you guys like put this in here? Like, I don't know. Maybe like I'm thinking of it now, just the whole idea of like a gun or something, but it's just like
Stitch had a gun at some point in the movie, like the original one. He has like the little red ones.
Yeah, he does. Like, and it's just kind of like, it's just weird. Like, again, there's just so many little things to the point where it's like the music isn't even the exact same either.
Yeah, bro, I gotta feel like I'm in Hawaii, right?
Bro, like they play those two songs, I think, or just one of them, but it's like it doesn't flow like how it did in the movie. Like it's like different tones and stuff like that. And I was just like, I was literally playing it in my head, and when it went off track, I was like, I was like, come on, bro, y'all had one job. How come y'all couldn't play the original song? But just that, obviously, off of just like Bleakley not being an alien and
not doing the whole part of his dressing and all this like stuff that made the movie what it was. Like they both like both of them dressed up like humans or whatever, but they were still aliens.
Yeah, and like I felt like in the beginning too of it as well, it like rushed really fast. Like you saw Stitch, he got arrested, got free, went to Earth, it went like so fast. It
was a montage.
Like it went really like when I sat there and I was sitting back, I was watching, I'm like, dang, like we're basically like we already got to Hawaii, but I felt like there was so much more in that in between that you felt like you understood a little bit more. I just felt like it was so fast, and I was like, dang, because to me, I felt like you were able to really see like who Stitch was before everything, and like you see it throughout the movie. I just felt personally, I was just like, I didn't feel like there was like enough character development. It just went really fast, and I was just like, what the heck? Like it just seemed kind of like weird.
Because doesn't he end up like at a dog pound at some point or something in the original one? Did they happen in the new one?
Yeah. But how he got there was completely different. In the original, he got hit by a truck because he was trying to mess around with the frog, and then he gets hit by a truck. But in this one, he gets hit by like a little like tour van that's like in Hawaii, who's like taking people on like a night tour, and he gets hit by a little like van, and that was it.
There wasn't a need to change all that though.
That's like, what I'm saying. There was no need for it to change there. I was like, what the heck is the point?
Did they at least get the plane right?
What do you mean, like the
spaceship?
So the big spaceship in the beginning, like through the like, yeah, they got that right, and they also got the regular like red ship. They got that right too. But obviously, just the whole like Jumba being the main villain in this story, I was just like, it's just weird because I'm just like, this isn't how it was supposed to happen. Because that's the thing I got annoyed about is because I thought that was one of the funniest parts in Lilo and Stitch is when in the beginning, Jumba's kind of like upset at Stitch and kind of seems like somewhat of the villain. But towards like the middle to end, they end up just being like friends and just kind of being like set their sides different, like, you know, their differences aside. And are like, you know, I created you, you know, you obviously know we rock with each other. Let's just, you know, because our favorite part in the movie was just like after Lilo gets taken by Gantu and basically Stitch goes to Jumbo just like, oh yeah, like I need you to go help me like save Lilo basically. And he's just like, you want me to go and help her save her? And he's just like, yes. He's like, okay, let's go. And he just starts helping each other out. I'm like, bro, all that little like back and forth. They hate, like, you remember when he was wrecking the house and they ended up throwing like the punch buggy and all that? Like none of that was like really a thing. Like it was little stuff here, but it wasn't as like funny as the actual cartoon.
And she didn't fight the little girl, did she?
Huh?
She didn't fight the little girl that was bullying her, did she?
Not the way in the cartoon.
Yeah, like
if you want me to be honest, it was just a push.
Nah,
it was a push off the stage.
Nah, I need her to
even them. You see those girls, like I think it's only 2 of them, first of all. In the cartoon, it's 3 of them all together. And in the movie, I think it's just 2, and they don't even they show up maybe like a total of 3 times throughout the whole movie. And that's what I just got annoyed about because I remember Emily pointed out, I didn't even realize, I think it's, what's her name? Is it Myrtle?
I keep thinking Myrtle. I don't know if it's right.
I know it's an M. I just think I could be slightly wrong. But the main girl in the group of those friends, like she wasn't even wearing glasses in the movie, so you like couldn't even really like. I didn't realize.
Was she a redhead at least?
I don't think so. I think she was blonde. If I'm gonna be honest, I think she was blonde. Yeah. And then like they don't even do their famous line where they're like, yeah, they don't even do any of that because it's not even any of them. It's just one other girl. So it's like, what the heck? I mean, remember how he got the whole tricycle and he was going around the island? Like Elvis or whatever. Bro, it's an electric like Mercedes-Benz car. I was like, bro, come on.
An ad.
Huh?
It was an ad.
I mean,
did it have the Mercedes logo on it?
I don't know. I don't really remember closely, but it was one of those like trying to
the toy cars. Yeah,
that you can literally as a kid sit.
I thought it was gonna be like, you ever see like music videos and they have like the flash beats loud, like clear as day. I thought it was like one of those like where Mercedes.
No, I don't know if it was exactly Mercedes, but
did they do like, Elvis?
Huh?
Did they have him dressed as Elvis?
Only in the end credits. You see a picture of him dressed as Elvis.
A picture?
Yeah.
They didn't even get him to like dance or like hair, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Bro, they do that whole scene though when they're basically at the beach or whatever, and she's like training him how to be like a good person. Like that, they did that part right where she like draws a diagram, but that was at home in the original. This one she was doing it at the beach. She was saying, right now you're like 90% bad. Yeah. She's like, for somebody for your size, that's not good. Yeah. So like she did that, but it was at the beach. The other
did David do anything?
Huh?
David, that's his name, right? The boyfriend.
Yeah. David.
I mean, he was cool. His little luau shit or no?
Yeah, he did that in the movie. He was cool. I didn't like how in the movie you didn't really see Nani and his connection that much. It showed up for like once or twice. I just felt like in the cartoon it was a little bit more like
because he was like, yo, like I got you, like, you know, when she needed help, he'd be like, yo, I'm here, like,
it wasn't
where's Lilo?
It wasn't really like that to that degree in the movie. Because I guess it was focusing more on just like Nani, Lilo, and Stitch, like just those 3. Apparently in this movie they have like a neighbor and she's like basically like really close to them and basically considered like their grandma in a sense.
I guess. I feel like that house was like detached from a lot of, like it was just by itself in the cartoon.
Bro, this is how they incorporated it, and that's why I was like, but don't get me wrong, she did great. The girl who plays the grandma, you've seen her before, 100%. I think she's the same lady who plays the grandma in Cat in the Hat.
Oh yeah, like, hi.
Yeah, I think it's the same lady who plays that lady. She did great. So I can't really be upset about how she played her role or anything like that. I just think the role in itself just should have never existed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But she did great, and they didn't have the point where again it was the montage of Stitch, and he wears like the bra over his head. With the cape.
Yeah.
That's again the end credits. You see a picture of it.
So like that's kind of been my issue with a lot of these remakes, where it's like they take the soul and fun out of these movies. Because like this is a little bit older now, but the original, when they first did a remake of Lion King, like the live action, when it was like Seth Rogen is like Pumbaa, whatever, like that one. Because I think they did a second one already.
Yeah. When I saw that come out like recently, I was like, wait,
because that was like a prequel or something, right?
Yeah, I was confused. I'm like, wait, didn't they already make a Lion King?
Yeah, but that one's like with Simba or like with his dad and
I'll be
Scar.
honest, I didn't see any of the live action ones.
No, I saw, but like this is what I'm trying to get. So the first one that I went to go see years ago when it came out, and like that's been my issue with a lot of the live action where they take the soul out of it, like they take the fun out of it. Like I didn't see the Mulan one, but there's no Mushu and no music in Mulan.
I never seen the live action either, and when after seeing Lilo and Stitch, I was like thinking about all the like good like Disney movies, and I was like, Mulan's really good, and I'm like, wait, didn't they make a live action?
They did.
I never saw
and
it.
They never had Mushu. They never had the music. They just did Snow White.
That one did
and terrible. That one did terrible.
There was other reasons why it did terrible.
Yeah,
but I think they're like one of the worst ever.
Lion King, they had music, but there was no like none of the fun of it besides having Timon and Pumbaa in it. Mm-hmm. So like same thing with this Lilo and Stitch is like, how can you take the lighthearted moments out of the film and expect it to still feel the same?
Well, I'm going to be honest, the movie felt very, very like sentimental in a way, which is fine because you had to really understand like what they were going through. But what I was trying to explain to Emily, because if I'm going to be honest, if you watch that movie, bro, you're going to feel like it's just super sad because it focuses so much on Nani.
I was going to say, from what you're telling, it sounds like the film is focused on Nani more than it is on Lilo.
Yeah, because it focuses a lot on the fact that she's about to lose Lilo because the social service worker comes and basically says like, you need to get your stuff together. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps going downhill for her.
Yeah.
And she can't basically recuperate to the point.
She's like a single mom, single sister. Whatever,
yeah.
Like.
To the point where like she can't recuperate, and it just kind of feels very sad. And you're just kind of like, dang, like.
And it's all that, and then Stitch just walks in. And it's
yeah,
like...
but then like Stitch has his moment where he sits there and he's like, oh, like it's my fault. This is the reason why these things are happening. And you're like, he has like some type of emotional breakthrough there. But it's also like, this isn't what this movie's supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be so like hit on like, oh yeah, like she's going through such a hard time.
No.
Like, this is
like
that was kids movie.
Those are supposed to be like, see what the animated films do so well is like keeping the kid shit at the forefront and then the subtle serious stuff in the back end for the adults.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to realize
they did the opposite. They kept all the serious stuff up front and then kept the undertones of the kiddie stuff in the back. It's supposed to be a story about a little girl with her pet dog who's actually an alien, and the adults will notice, oh, she's an older sister playing a mom dealing with secret services and trying to navigate that. The adults are supposed to be able to pick that stuff up. Now you probably just have little kids crying because like, damn, yo, this girl's about to lose her scholarship and her little sister or something like that. Like, that's not supposed to be the vibe. You're supposed to like keep, Stitch doing stupid shit and like making his little jokes and like them two working together and her being cute. Like, that's not supposed to be your main focus. Just being like, damn, like I'm pondering this like woman. She's taking out student loans and she's about to lose her sister.
Yeah, and it's just weird. It focuses on a lot of different things, and I feel like it might. I guess they tried to just make it a more general movie rather than like, oh, we're just trying to like just hit this one point of like, oh, it's a kid movie. They were trying to obviously branch out. And we talked about this before. I just feel like that's just how kid movies are going now, where they're trying to be so like in tune with everything that's going on. And it's like, bro, my kid is 5 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about this stuff. And I don't care about it, frankly, either right now. I want to have fun with my kid watching this, not have myself cry. And my kid's like, Daddy, why are you crying? I'm like, I don't know, man. Why is this happening?
Like right now they have another one coming out. I think it's called Elio. And it's a kid who's like missing an eye, but he's like, his mom is like in the military. It's like ticking all these boxes. Like, damn, bro.
Not to mention he's Hispanic.
Is he? Yeah.
Yes.
He's a Hispanic kid missing an eye, or I don't know if he just has an eye patch. I'm assuming it's missing.
I don't know. Yeah.
His mom's in the military, and she's like, "You have to find some friends, Elio. Like, stop being a loser. Touch some grass." Like, that's her whole vibe in the commercial. And instead of meeting human friends, he meets alien friends. and that's the whole premise of that. And I think that film has been made like a bunch of times. Like, isn't Monsters vs. Aliens like similar vibe? Or there's like other films.
I think the whole idea of Monsters vs. Aliens was just like the whole outcast idea.
Yeah, or like what's that movie that Rihanna's in? She voice acted it in it, and that's another one about like a little girl meets alien friend.
Yeah. It's just funny that you say that because I'm glad you said that. Because you kind of touched on, and I think you feel the exact same way. About
Home is the name of the movie.
I think you feel exactly the same way on how I feel about this Elio movie that comes out, because I kind of told the same thing to Emily. I don't think she liked what I had to say.
What happened?
No, I'm not going to say it on here.
We're getting canceled, guys.
I'm not going to say it on here. I just felt like it was a little just like, again, they're just stretching for something, and I'm just like, this doesn't make sense. And I just feel like you're trying to check these boxes off to kind of like get these like this revenue for this movie. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'll try and clean it up if I'm picking up what you're putting down. Because other people have complained about it as well. Like, not just, obviously we're like two straight Hispanic men, so like we're not going to hit all those boxes. Maybe sometimes, but I've heard because like, now you see these films like South Park has made fun of it, and like Disney's been an issue with like Marvel, or like you see a lot of films today. It's like it's forced inclusivity, where it's more so to hit a quota rather than it feeling natural, and that's not what people have been asking for when they ask for diversity in film. Because like if you have an ensemble crew of superheroes, one doesn't have to be missing a leg, the other one doesn't have to be gay, the other one doesn't have to be Asian, the other one doesn't have to be black, and the other guy has to be white to like fit the like you can just have like you don't have to make their race the forefront or their disabilities the forefront. Yeah, it can just be a part of them, and that's just what it is. Yeah. So like if you have a group of this is just an example, a group of friends in a film, if 4 out of 5 of them are black and 1 of them is white or whatever, like let that be the case. Like they're just friends, and just let the story be the story. Yeah. But like with this film like Elio, it's like they just threw all this adversity at him to like make sure every little pain, like somebody can relate to it in some capacity, and that's how they're gonna like push the movie. So it's like this kid has a disability. He probably has a hard time finding friends because kids are assholes, and they're just like, like what's up with your eye, and that's probably gonna be like a thing in the movie. And he struggles making friends. His mom's in the military, so he's probably moving around a lot, and he doesn't see his mom as much, and she's Hispanic, so that's the ethnic card there. And now aliens, which is kind of fucked up, Disney, combining Hispanics and aliens in the same film, 2025. Yeah, I caught you.
They said
but yeah, it's like it's forced inclusivity, or in a sense where it's like it's not even like you're just doing it to hit a quota, and that doesn't feel like that's like here's your gay person with a disability film, or like your minority person in a film. Yeah. I'm assuming that's where you were getting at.
Kind of, yeah. It's just also like, kind of like the idea of just that forceness of certain things. And when I went to go see Thunderbolt, it was kind of that same thing. It just felt like I wasn't expecting anything crazy, but I did hear people say it was good. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna watch it. I enjoyed it. It was good. How they defeated the villain, I was like, all right, bro, like, you gonna tell me we in this world with Thanos, this guy is, I'm not gonna lie, the villain was kind of like hard as far as like what he can do to people. I'm like, this is kind of hard. How we defeated him? Bro, are you serious? They gave this man a hug, and he was like, all right, cool. I'm cool, guys. I said, ain't no way.
That's all he wanted.
I'm like, there ain't no way, bro. There's no way that we over here have people risking their lives. Boy snapped half the universe out of existence. People are dying, trying to get their last breath to kill this guy who came into their planet, invaded them. This man just said, I need a hug, man. That's all I needed. I said, bro.
And he just went home.
I said, come on, bro. Like, y'all could have did anything, bro. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about these certain movies. But yeah, as far as Lilo and Stitch, I mean, like I said, it was an alright movie. If your kid's never seen the cartoon, I guess
they would like it, because like they don't have that thing to go off of, unless their parents already showed them like the cartoon, which I'd assume is like most times like the parents are gonna be around our age, if not a little bit older. So like, oh, we gotta show you the animated before we take you to the
Yeah. So I mean, like, as far as like acting and everything, I thought it was good. As far as just how it got executed, I was just like, eh.
The little girl who played Lilo's dope. Like I've seen her like in interviews and all that stuff. Like she seems super smart, super talented. Like
Yeah.
it's just you gotta those actors and actresses had to stay within the script. Like they can't control that. Like they just gotta show up and know their lines and go home.
That's not
So
their fault, yeah.
but it's the people in the boardrooms and like nobody speaks up or they just don't care and they're just like, yo, like but the analytics say this, that we need to do X, Y, and Z, and or they're too worried about like pushing buttons and because everybody's like, oh, like the movies are turning your kids gay. So it's like if you see Pleakley in a dress, people are gonna think it's like some weird transsexual thing, and it's like, yo, it's literally just a children's film. Like, just laugh and go home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's been our story, guys, about Hawaii. So.
Yeah. I didn't see now a single thing about Stitch over there.
What do you mean? Oh,
in Hawaii at all?
Probably don't care.
Yeah, they probably don't like it or like they're cool off it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
But you would, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a different conversation around that. It's but yeah, it's a fireplace, bro. I recommend it. Super. I mean, I will say it's expensive. Not to get there, but like basic stuff, day to day stuff is very expensive. Cause like I guess it's harder. Obviously, you have to ship all that stuff over there.
That makes sense.
But like, just basic, like you go to a corner store kind of thing, and you'll spend like $5 on like a fucking orange juice. Like it's high. So like I feel for the people that actually live there. I will say though, for something that I did not know about until I got there. I saw it before I went, but I didn't know that it was like on this degree. There's a store that they have there called the ABC store, which is basically like their 7-Eleven. They do have 7-Eleven there, but there's like their convenience store down there. There is one on every block. I am not exaggerating. Every block there's one of them, and they sell everything.
Jeez.
Bro, I spent most of my money there the entire trip because I just kept wanting to get water or just like food or whatever. Like souvenirs.
ABC.
Yeah, bro, real shit. There's like they sell alcohol there too, so like if I was going to grab drinks, like to just chill, like.
All right.
Then they had this thing was like save your receipts and you get like a gift after you spend X amount of bread. Bro, the minimum was like 100 in receipts. I probably tripled that, bro. Jeez. Just off that one store, just from the 6 days I was there, and I didn't get my gift. I didn't even do it. I gave it to somebody else. I was like, here.
Yeah, come back.
It was like a $5 mug. And it wasn't even anything special, but it is what it is. We're kind of going over, so we'll leave it here. I was gonna ask you about. Have you seen this thing with before we leave, the standing airport seats that they trying to do now?
Yeah, I saw that.
How you feel about that? Would you do it? It depends. I gotta see the price.
Yeah.
'Cause you telling me I could get to Tokyo for like $250 and I might stand.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's actually going to be insane, though. That's a long flight.
That's like 24 hours.
That's a long flight. The only thing keeping you up is the belt. You're just like, you gonna
get off that plane looking like a cowboy. Like you was on the horse. You're just like,
bro, your legs aren't going to be working at all.
Your whole groin going to hurt.
They're going to have a section for people who stood to have wheelchairs escort.
Yeah, bro. My leg's going to be dead. But you got to let me walk up the aisles a little bit.
Yeah,
or if there's turbulence, you're like.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, if it's the right price, yeah. Also, it's the distance. We're going to have to talk about some type of like amenities for that.
So like apparently the idea behind is to get more people on, but in a sense of like more emergency situations where it's like, yo, like I need a flight to like Dallas right now because I got to be there.
I see what you mean.
Kind of thing. So like that was how they pitched it, but we'll see. Yeah. I would be down low key because I don't really mind that bad. If it was like a 3-4 hour John, like,
no, I'll be fine.
I'll do it.
I've definitely
watching the overhead.
I've seen.
They've been like
work before.
True. I used to do like full 8-hour shifts and shit. Pre like 9/11, there was like a lot more cool stuff happening on like airplanes. I saw this one like photo, like a bunch of photos. It was like in the 70s. They had dance floors on airplanes. It was like a certain airline that did it, but they had like a whole ass like disco dance floor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like,
no, there was a lot of stuff that was allowed.
Or like couches or like open space, like stand up, walk up bars.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they might have that, but it's obviously those international ones.
Like the more established like Emirates and stuff. Yeah. But like it used to be like more common, like anybody would have it. So yeah, we need to get back to having fun as a people, man. Even though times aren't so fun right now, there's way more stuff to talk about. We got that No King's Day. We got that weird parade.
Yeah.
We got 2 politicians that got assassinated in like Minnesota or something. A lot going on in the world. We talk about enough politics. Talk about Hawaii and some fun shit. But yeah, I would for sure do the stand up playing thing, like to PR or something. Like, fuck it. It's like 3-4 hours standing up.
You want to be back.
Chop it up. It'd just be kind of awkward, like, because like the way they said it, at least in the photos, it was like back to back or something. So you like, it would be like me and you on a plane, just like, so, like,
yeah.
how you doing?
Like, just hit a bunch of clouds and the turbulence go crazy. Yeah, so awkward.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, I could talk more about Hawaii, but we'll talk about it off camera. But yeah, guys, assuming so that this will be the last time that you'll see us in this setup for a little bit. But stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. It's just the location changing once again, which we've done numerous times. This is probably our longest standing space, but we're going to, switch things up because it's time to switch things up. Anything we'll say before we get out of here, Mark?
Just like I said before, we love you guys. We appreciate you for being around for so long. And yeah, just stick with us and have fun.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.